The world that we grew up in is gone and it's never coming back. Here's the thing. I don't know if you guys have talked to anybody recently who's not in your immediate friend group, but it would seem that a lot of people are extremely miserable. People are always on their phones. People are always bitter. You look right in the eyes of somebody and it's just, you don't even feel like there's a soul behind them. I was talking to my friend Devin. He has a YouTube channel called Dapper Dev. He made this video about how people are not the way that they used to be. And I thought he made some really good points. The main idea that him and I strongly agreed on was the cell phones. And when you look around at people, the cell phones really have taken a forefront. And, every single person's on them at all times. Like, go to a grocery store, go to a restaurant, and just look around. And you'll notice very quickly that a lot of people are on their phones. Even if they're out with their families, they don't take a single second to turn their phone face down and put it on the table. And the thing that the phone does is it makes you... you're always using social media, you're always blasting your dopamine receptors and, maxing them out to the point where you feel like life should be like that all the time. And you're also comparing yourself to every other person's life instead of just looking at the life you have right in front of you. And that's a huge issue because, if you're constantly, it used to, back in the day before you had a cell phone and an Instagram account, you would just compare yourself to, the people in your community, maybe your church, maybe your jiu-jitsu club, anything like that. But nowadays, you're comparing yourself almost at all times, if you use social media regularly, to the entire fucking world. It's not our first thought, but we're always comparing ourselves to people who we believe are doing better than us. And I think that's a problem when it gets too deep and too heavy. And don't get me started on like the scrolling and the brain rot content, because you are flooding your dopamine receptors with slop. And, it's stuff that is visually appealing and visually stimulating that's going to make you want to watch the video until the end, whether it's a 10-second clip, a 30-second clip. They're trying the best they can, these social media apps, to make sure that you stay on the app as long as possible. And then what happens is you go hang out with family, or you go outside to a park, you go climb a tree, and you're like, wait a second, this doesn't feel that good. What's the problem? The problem is you're becoming accustomed to this bullshit on social media, and you think it's normal to be stimulated like that all the time, to the point where it doesn't even register with you that what you're doing in real life is actually quite fulfilling. We have these copes that we latch onto quite often. I would say for Gen Z men and women, it kind of goes the way of, you have things like weed, alcohol, antidepressants, pornography. There's several others, even junk food to an extent, any of this stuff that you use as a way to push away a bad feeling. And when you do this with enough things and you don't even allow yourself to feel anything, then that's a huge problem, because you're basically walking around life like some of these people I mentioned earlier who were like complete and utter zombies. You look them in the eye and it doesn't even feel like anybody's looking back at you. And even worse is you see children affected by this too, and that really breaks your heart, because you ask yourself like what you were doing when I was a kid. I was at a park today and I tried to film this video that you're watching, and I was looking around and I was seeing kids climb trees, seeing kids, go on the monkey bars, roughhouse a little bit. And I was like, this is what you should be experiencing as a kid. But nowadays, a lot of kids are going on TikTok and scrolling to find the best jelking tutorial or looks maxing options so that they can increase their performance with the huzz at school. Why are you worried about all this shit, man? Why don't you just enjoy life? And this isn't even just a exclusively kid thing. And I understand when you grow up, you have responsibilities, but I think it's important as we grow up and as we age that we keep that childlike excitement for life and lust for life. We got to keep that handy, because really, if you're not taking advantage of that, you're going to walk through life and probably have a lot of regrets because you're not doing things that excite you. And I'm not saying like go skydiving every day or, evade responsibility to chase excitement. But I'm saying every now and then, instead of thinking of what's the worst that could happen or the absolute, worst possible outcome for something, just go and do it and find out. I'm so guilty of this. I will go so long without trying something because I'm scared about what people will think and the ramifications of possibly doing so, when in reality, no one else really gives a shit. I'm kind of living my own life and doing my own thing, and no one really cares that much. I'm the only one who cares the most. Analysis paralysis is a thing where we stop ourselves from trying something we really want to do. Maybe you start a business, or you start a YouTube channel, or it doesn't matter what it is, but if you tell yourself not to do it and you just keep pushing it back and it's not important to you, you're always going to wonder what if. And it's okay to not chase every single thing, but like every now and then you should just give yourself a chance to do something. Be retarded, be stupid, stop thinking, just ask her out, whatever it is. You want to join a boxing gym? Go ask her out. You want to join a chess club? Go ask her out. Do something, man. Don't just sit there and rot in your fucking studio apartment and wonder why the world is passing you by. There's something that breaks my heart about going to talk to a family member, and while I'm talking to them and trying to tell them something I sincerely believe in, or I'm trying to speak with conviction about, they break out their phone and immediately they're just like, oh yeah, I'm still listening. It's like, you're not listening, dude. You brought out your phone and now you're scrolling while I'm trying to tell you something, and you say you're listening. You're not. I can see the wall right there. It's the digital wall that's keeping you and I from being one and having a conversation. But I know this video has kind of been doom and gloom so far, but I want to make it abundantly clear that there are things you can do about this, because I'll ask you a question real quick. When's the last time you went into a grocery store with a handwritten list and left your phone in the car? So if you leave your phone in the car the next time you go to a grocery store, you're going to have to be more in the moment. And that's good for you every now and then. Another thing I like to do is if I go out to dinner with my family or really good friends, my phone is face down in the corner of the table, and I only check it if my friend goes to use the bathroom. That's the only time I do. It's another thing that is very simple, but you can be present, and you can be in the moment, and you're not going to steal those moments when your friend is talking to you. I love training jiu-jitsu, not just because I like the sport, but something I really like about it is every time I go in there to train and wrestle and grapple and do jiu-jitsu, all that stuff, I leave my phone in my car, and I don't check it till I come back out, because jiu-jitsu, while we're drilling and then when we roll, for that 90 minutes I'm there, I am completely shutting off everything around me outside the world, and I just go in there, I train with my friends, and it's a community of people I really like, and they're really cool, and I just forget about everything that's causing me anxiety or problems or a little bit of stress. It's all fucking in the past, and I don't have to worry about it until I'm done. And that's a beautiful thing. We need to find more ways to neglect our phones so that we can be happier, truly, because, I'm 25 and I'm starting to realize how fast time moves when you're grown up, you're not in college anymore, and you have responsibilities. It does move fast, but, the best thing I can do is spend the most time with my family, my friends, and all that, because relationships are ultimately what makes life the best and the most worth living, in my opinion. Go sit outside in a field with a towel and read a book and take a look at the sun and just be thankful that you have another day on earth, because not everybody gets that. I really wanted to talk about this topic. It's been on my mind and weighing on it for a bit, because sometimes I want to just make a video, talk about something sincerely, not try to be funny, and give you guys my thoughts on something. So I really hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you guys call your friends or loved ones or family members, whoever's important to you, and tell them how important they are to you, because you never know when someone's final moment's going to be. So please do that if you can. Other than that, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, comment what you resonated with most from this video. This is Iceman, your favorite greasy Italian wop, signing out.